All right, hello everyone and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. Here we are on March 7th, 2019, and we are already on show number 39. So on today's show, what we're going to do, and I say we, as you can tell, the chair is empty. Unfortunately, Carla has been under the weather for the last 36 hours or so. So we tried to do this last night. She didn't feel up to it. She still does not. So we wish her the best in terms of recovery, and I will do my best to plod through this show solo. Still not right not having Carla here, but let's move forward. All right. So yesterday we had the first round of the women's side of the Indian Wells draw. We had the bottom half of that take place, and we also had the men's qualifying finishing up on yesterday. So in case you missed our first two shows of this Indian Wells, that is the BNP Paribas 1000 or Premier for men and women. I will put a link above for Carla and Carla and myself's complete breakdown of the women's draw up top. So check out that. And if you're not seeing the links, you're probably not on a device or direct through to the YouTube channel in which allows these links to come up. So when I say link, generally if you're on a cell phone or actually watching this video off of YouTube, it will come up top saying suggested video. So look up top for our complete women's draw breakdown. As well, I'll place a separate link above now for our men's draw breakdown, in case you missed either one of those. All right, so we are going to move right into the women's action that completed last night late. Again, it is a Thursday morning, and I know Carla wanted this show to go on as she's down again, and I have some coaching to do this afternoon with our high school team. So we're going to break right into the women's draw. So there was a lot of good matches that took place last night that finished relatively late, at least here Central Standard Time. So I did my best, less Carla, to write all these matches down so we can discuss them this morning. All right, so I'm going to just pick out my draw sheet. Again, I have my predictive sheet, which, again, you can check out the whole analysis of that on our show that we just did. But I'm going to break out my results and our completed results page so we can break down those matches now. All right. So at the top half, or excuse me, the top half of the bottom part, or the bottom section of the women's draw, the first match we had complete was Petra Martic against Magda Linette. Magda Linette won that match in 3 sets. Both Carla and I picked Martic to win that, so we both lost Martic on yesterday evening, the very first night. So that sets up a Linette-Bertens match, and again, I'll have Bertens moving through that match and venturing off into the third round. On our women's initial predictions show, I predicted Johanna Konta from Great Britain to have a resurgence tournament, and Konta to win her first round match against Parmentier from France, and she did so with relative ease, 6-2, 6-3. So good job for Konta. I was looking for Carla, and again, her empty seat. It's kind of like the yin without the yang, or the rice without the fork or chopsticks. It just doesn't really gel real well, so we're missing her. But nonetheless, Konta won that match as we both predicted, and Konta will now face SOOOO Hisai from Taiwan. She's the young lady that hits the forehand two-handed, the backhand two-handed off both wings, and I do predict Konta to win that match against Hisai and to face Bertens in the third round. We'll see what happens. If you missed the first show, I had Konta actually beating Bertens and moving into the fourth round. All right, excuse me, pardon me. So the next little section here, we have Garbine Muguruza, again, two-time major champion, that will now face Lauren Davis, who beat Schmidlova yesterday from Slovakia. And Lauren Davis, the 23, 24-year-old American, won 7-6. 6-2, and she was a wild card, so this is a good chance for Lauren Davis to have a good match against Garbine Muguruza. Alas, I think Muguruza will win this match against Lauren Davis, and head into the third round. But you never know. All right, so the next match we had complete last night was Victoria Azarenka. Vika, what's going on? I hope you're doing well. Took out her fellow countryman or countrywoman and Vera Lapko with relative ease. So this was a fun match, by the way. I watched this match start to finish. Carla was asleep and trying to shake off her sickness, but I had a chance to watch this. I wish that she was there with me to watch it because it was quite good. Even though it was relatively easy for Azarenka to get through. So this sets up a blockbuster second round match between Serena Williams and Victoria Azarenka. So this is an epic match here. I really think Serena will win this match. I think she'll win it, maybe not decisively, but maybe 6-4, 6-4. And I think it will be a screech off and a grunt off going head to head. So what I'll try to do is, without Carla, I'll try to reenact a point from the Azarenka-Serena match. So I'll be Serena and Azarenka, and I'll be, say, Serena serving, and I will be Azarenka returning. All right, here we go. Running for a drop shot, running for a drop shot. I got lost on who would win that point, but I think Serena will win more points and therefore win the match. So I think that's how that match will go down. Screech off versus a grunt off. Have the earmuffs, have the earplugs, turn the volume down, but enjoy some good tennis because it should be a good match. But I have Serena winning that match against Azarenka and setting up another blockbuster match in the third round with Muguruza playing Serena. All right, so moving down a little bit further, we have Elise Mertens that will face off against the young Anisimova, who is a Floridian at this point, born in Jersey. That's a 17-year-old future superstar, I think, in my opinion. Tall girl, she has the looks of a tennis player, beautiful girl, and I hope she doesn't get wrapped up into some of the more swimsuit, calendar shoot stuff that I know a lot of these beautiful girls get into. Not being, again, if Carla was here, she would say the same thing. She's a real solid tennis player. She came out of the gates yesterday just crunching Krunich's second serve, really put the pressure on her early. I think bageled Krunic in the first set, and then Krunic kind of warmed up a little bit too late yesterday in the match, and Anisimova took that second set. I think it was 6-4. So for me, this girl Anisimova can be a real threat maker to anyone out there. I think she has what it takes to get a couple majors under her belt within the next couple of years. Comment below if you think I'm wrong, but she has the right stuff. And hopefully as she hits the ages of 18, 19, 20 and separating from parents and being more independent, that she sticks with her game because she has really the right stuff to be a champion. So kudos to Anisimova and her parents for raising this fine young player here, and hopefully she stays on track, and I think we'll see a lot more from her. Carla has Anisimova going into the quarterfinals against Andreescu. At least I'm fairly certain that was our prediction. First round, second round, into the fourth round against Andreescu. I have Andreescu meeting Anisimova in the fourth round, and Andreescu winning. Carla has it vice versa. The same two girls meeting, and we'll talk about Andreescu in a minute. However, Carla has Anisimova winning that match. So great job for her. This sets up again Anisimova against Elise Mertens. I think Anisimova wins that match and moves into the third round. Next up, we have the American. I think she's initially Spanish by her last name. Her last name is Pera. And Pera won yesterday over McNally, another U.S. qualifier. And this was a good match. We watched some of this match as well. Great job to both girls here. And I'm glad to see Pera move through. I'm not familiar with Pera. I've seen her name pop up here and there, but this is the first time I've watched her play. She looked good. She looked like a strong girl with promise, and hopefully she can keep up her hard work. And now Pera will await Qiang Wang, who had a bye, the 18 seed from China. Ultimately, I think Wang will win this match, move into the third round, and face Anisimova. We'll see. All right, so blockbuster match coming up. We had yesterday Bianca Andreescu that took out Begu. Begu, she took out in 3 sets, if I remember correctly. Begu's from Romania. I think Andreescu lost the first set. It was a tight or a little bit more, or a tight first set, lost it. I think it was 7-6. She took the second and third sets to move into the second round, and she will play Dominika Cibulkova. So that should be a good match, really good match. Cibulkova I like a lot, veteran, been around a long time. I think she made a final to in the Australian Open against Li Na, maybe, in like 2013 or 14. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I like this Canadian girl, Andreescu. I have Andreescu meeting Anisimova in the 4th round, and I just spoke about this. 1, 2, 3, in the 4th round, and actually beating Anisimova to head into the quarterfinals. So we'll see, but I do think Andreescu takes out Cibulkova. Again, it's really weird without Carla. Where are you at? Man. We're going to get through this, though. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. All right, so we had a battle of 2 young ladies with the last name V and V. That was Vickery, U.S. player, and Vogel, a Swiss player. So we had Vogel, though, the Swiss player, in a qualifier that moved through to the second round and will now face Sloane Stephens, who had a first-round bye. I think Sloane Stephens will win that match, and I think Sloane Stephens will win it easily. Good job, Vogel, the qualifier, for getting in and winning a round. But I think that you'll have your hands full with Sloane Stephens. And I think Sloane Stephens will ultimately have her hands full with Andreescu. So, again, that kind of section wraps up from the top to the top part of the bottom half of the women's draw. And this entire kind of top quarter, I like Anisimova a lot. I like Andreescu a lot. And I like Serena a lot. I do like Muguruza a little bit, but out of this whole section, I like Anisimova, I like Serena, and I like Andreescu. We'll see what happens. All right, so bottom half of the bottom half, or bottom section of the bottom half of the women's draw. Yesterday, we had Sophia, or Sonia, as she likes to be called, Kenin, that played Yifan Wang. Now, this one hurt me. I had Wang going all the way to the quarterfinals in this tournament and meeting up with Halep, and she lost in the first round. She played Sophia, or Sonia Kenin, yesterday. And by the way, I've seen Kenin play a lot, but I've never heard her speak. She is definitely a fine young lady with a strong game and a strong heart. I didn't know, though, that she spoke with an accent, maybe Russian, or someone can comment below on that. I know she flies the American flag, but I'd be curious to know where she was actually from. If I had to guess, and I should have written this in, I would say Russian maybe, but hey, glad to have her playing U.S. tennis. But I'd like to be more clear on what is her native language, and why is it that she chose to play for the United States. I think it makes a great story. She played a great match. Again, I hate that Wang lost, because that really caused me a big issue on my bracket. So I lost a female player day one that I had going to the quarterfinals, that ultimately lost to someone that she had just beaten. These two squared off in Acapulco. I think it was in the final. I may be wrong on that. Carla, I don't know if you can hear in there, but did they play in Acapulco? Okay, I think it was Acapulco. I thought Carla was in there backing me up, but I think she might be out. Man, what's going on? Still get it done. But nonetheless, I think they played in either Dubai or Acapulco. I think it was Acapulco, and Wang won there. I was so confident that Wang would go deep here at this tournament that I penciled her in to get through this match again. She won the first set, I think, decisively. I think Wang took Kenin 6-1 in the first, or 6-2 in the first, and then it went Kenin's way. So good job for her, and unfortunately I lost Wang early. So that sets up a match between Sonia Kenin and Svitolina, and that's Monfils's girl, Svitolina. A lot of good things going on there. Monfils is looking good, and Svitolina is looking good, and I think that Svitolina will handle business against Kenin and move into the third round. So my pick between Svitolina and Kenin, is Svitolina, and I think relatively easily, maybe 3-4, 4-4, maybe a 7-5, 6-3, something like that. Next match, the Australian Gavrilova took out the youngster Yastremska. Yastremska, if you don't know, is the young girl who Serena played. I think it was the Australian in the first round. She shed a couple tears. Serena had to kind of console her. She's an 18-year-old, I want to say, from Ukraine. But good job for Yastremska to be here in the first place and to battle to be on the world stage at a young age. But an even better job for Gavrilova, who had been on a match-losing streak for a while, to get into this match, make it into a 3-setter, and to ultimately win. So that will put Gavrilova up into the second round playing Misela Buzărenescu from Romania. And this is an opportunity for Gavrilova to not only come off a match-lose streak, but to actually win another match and get into the third round. If Gavrilova plays well, like she did yesterday, well, at least fairly well, I think she should have won it in 2 sets against the young Yastremska, but she let it go 3. She pulled it out, though. Buzărenescu, I think if Gavrilova gives Buzărenescu an inch, then Buzărenescu will take a mile. But if she can hang in there, then Gavrilova has a chance to get into the third round. But we'll see. Betting person, if I'm a betting person, I don't touch that one very much at all. So we'll see what happens between Gavrilova and Buzărenescu. So Caroline Garcia is up next. She had a bye, but she will face the young Jennifer Brady that took out a qualifier yesterday. Oh, I didn't write her name in there, but I had it. But nonetheless, the young Jennifer Brady will meet Caroline Garcia from France in the second round. That's another coin toss match. I hope the young Brady actually has a chance, the wild card, against Garcia. I do think Garcia will win this match. However, Garcia has never been too convincing for me either. So I am going to actually say that's another coin toss match that I can't quite give you my ultimate, I guess, heads up on. I guess I'm just going to take Garcia here. But again, betting person, I call that a stay away from. And let's try to, I guess, just see good tennis and get Brady to get a win as a wild card. But again, I think Garcia will more than likely win this match. All right, so next match we had completed yesterday was Tatiana Maria against Magdalena Rybarkarova. And Tatiana Maria won that match yesterday. And Maria will now face the strong Australian girl, Ashley Barty. Barty, for me, will go deep in this tournament. I think ultimately, in my prediction sheet, I had Barty getting beaten by Yifan Wang, who already lost, and then Barty losing to Halep in the quarterfinals. So obviously that scratched out my Wang lost. That didn't really sound right. I don't know, Carla, what you think? Yeah, my Wang lost. All right, anyway. So I think that with Wang losing here, I think that this will make Halep's trip to the quarterfinals or even semifinals even easier. But Barty now, I think, will slide in to where I had Wang going. So I had Barty and Wang meeting in the fourth round. I think it will continue to be Barty, and I think that the draw is kind of wide open at that point for Svitolina or Kenin to get up there and to face off against Barty. But I think Barty will now slide into the quarterfinals and meet up with Halep rather than Wang. So I'm leaning towards Barty in this quarter to do well and to give Halep a run for her money instead of Wang doing so because, again, I lost her. All right, so moving down to the last or the lowest section of the bottom half of the women's draw from yesterday. We have Kasatkina that will meet, and by the way, Kasatkina, the Russian player who reminds me a lot of Carla, the way they play and then the way they kind of act on the court, which is very good, but Kasatkina has had a really tumultuous year since the end of last year. Well, actually, mid last year. She had a great year, and she's been, quite on the losing end of a lot of matches, so I'm wondering what's going on there. I know she's had coaching on the sidelines a lot throughout the past couple of tournaments. I don't particularly care for that at all. However, some wins would be nice for Kasatkina at this point, and I think she has a good opportunity to get a win against Vondrousova from the Czech Republic. Now, I watched the Vondrousova match yesterday. Vondrousova played Siegemund, the German girl, and Carla and I actually talked about this match before it started on our women's draw breakdown show. And again, if you missed it, just you check out the link at the beginning of the show, or just look it up on our playlist, and you can see where we discussed a lot of these matches we're already talking about. Vondrousova is a youngster. I think she's an 18-year-old, by the way, and she got through Siegemund, and I want to say it was in straight sets. And I may be wrong there. It may have gone 3. It was a good match, though. But the youngster gets through. Now, if I were Kasatkina, I would really want to win this match, not only for prize money purposes, not only for confidence, but after losing so many matches here in the past year or so, or a little bit less, if Kasatkina, I think, gets taken out by Vondrousova, obviously would be a good job for Vondrousova, but I think that will hurt Kasatkina a lot. I'm going to take Kasatkina to win this match against the youngster, and I think she wins it with ease. So let's go, Kasatkina. I'm pulling for you here. You need all the help you can get. And good job again, Vondrousova, for getting through that first-round match. Next match completed yesterday was Shuai Zhang from China that played Victoria Kuzmova from Slovakia. And Shuai Zhang won that. So if Carla was here, I would say, I told you she had Kuzmova in this match. I took Zhang, and I'm glad to see Zhang moving through. This sets up, though, Zhang with a fierce opponent that's also been doing not too terribly well, and that is Helena Ostapenko. Ostapenko won the French Open. It seems like after that she had the French Open curse, kind of like with Anna Ivanovic and however many players generally win the French and not much else. I guess we could go Nadal on that one. Well, he's won 6 other majors besides the 11 French. But anyway, the French is a different animal. And Ostapenko, I think, should win this match. But the odd thing is we have Ostapenko in this section, and we have Kasatkina in this little section. So the winner between Ostapenko and Shuai Zhang and Kasatkina and Vondrousova will play one another. So I'm going to take Kasatkina to move forward in her match against Vondrousova, and I'm going to take I'm going to take Ostapenko to move forward over Shuai Zhang. But Shuai Zhang could win that. But I think in the third round we'll have a battle between the two young ladies that unfortunately have not done very well at all in the recent past, and that would be Kasatkina against Ostapenko, and it's a real coin toss there. But hopefully one of these girls gets some traction going, because they're both fierce and they deserve to be making noise in the game that they have before, and hopefully we see it again. All right, so on the very bottom part of the bottom half of the women's draw, we have Alexandra Sasnovich. She's from Belarus, 31 seed that had a bye, and will face off against Katerina Kuzlova. And Katerina Kuzlova, or Kozlova, is from Ukraine, and she took out Katerina Siniakova yesterday from the Czech Republic in her first-round match. The interesting thing for me on this match was both girls named Katerina. One had an I and one had a Y at the end of their name. So Katerina and Katerina, but one with the Y and one with an I. I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, the qualifier Kuzlova won that match and will face Sasnovich. Now, if you watch our women's show from day one, in this bottom section, I wrote here, qualifiers are very important. Qualifiers are very important. The reason why I indicated qualifiers are very important is because in this lower section, you have, where's my first match? Okay, you have Sasnovich with the bye, Siniakova against the qualifier, Strykova against the qualifier, and then Halep, again, maybe in marginal health, maybe injured, maybe not, who really knows, in that section. So I wrote qualifiers are important because they may go deep. And we already have the first qualifier through in that section. So what we have tomorrow is we have Strykova, okay? Strykova took out a qualifier Golubic. So Strykova got through beating Golubic and will face Halep. I think Halep will win that match. Halep, obviously being the 2 seed, had a bye. So we have Kuzlova, the Ukrainian qualifier, facing Sasnovich. Kuzlova can win that, and I think she may win that. So that's why I wanted to say qualifiers were important. because of the simple fact that if whoever got through the match between Siniakova and Kozlova would ultimately face a Sasnovich 31 seed that's vulnerable in of herself. So I think Kozlova may beat Sasnovich, maybe not. I wouldn't bet on it, but I think that Katerina Kozlova has a chance to meet Strykova or Halep in the third round, and obviously I think that will be Halep. So I'm gonna give a lot of props to Kozlova down here for her opportunity to maybe face Halep. She has to get through Sasnovich first, but that's a tough section down there. Again, I have Halep rolling all the way through to the semifinals and ultimately meeting up with Serena. Hopefully Halep doesn't end up like my Yifan Wang pick, because that was just lousy. Ouch. All right, so moving forward, as we end the show today, or I say because again, Carla's not here, and I'm all kind of out of sorts. A couple of matches on the men's side that will happen today. We have Martin Klizan against Misha Zverev. That'll be a good one. We have Ivo Karlovic, the big server, against Ebden. That should be a good match. We have the German Philip Kohlschreiber against Herbert, the Frenchman. That should be a great match. By the way, shout out to Gunneswaran, the young man from India that came into this tournament within qualifying. I know my son and I talk about Gunneswaran quite a bit. We like his court conduct, his demeanor, but he'll have a tough match today in round 1 against Benoit Pierre. And by the way, Benoit Pierre, please don't break any rackets. We'll see how Jaziri does. Jaziri plays Klon today on the men's side, and I have Jaziri going deep in this tournament, or at least to the second or third round. Or some people called me crazy for picking Jaziri, but I like Jaziri here in this first round match. We have Riley Opelka, the big serving 6'11" American that will play today, so we'll see how he does as well. So anyway, I have to take off. Again, my better half, my whole positive energy field in life is sick, so hopefully I did a great job. Don't kill me if I didn't. But I know Carla and myself wanted this show to go on for today. And if everything goes well, I hope to have her back for tonight's show or in the morning. So we'll do a results show from today, late tonight, as long as she's feeling better. If not, then we'll wait until tomorrow morning. So have a great day. I have to go coach our high school's team. I say I have to. I look forward to it. We've had a good year so far, and we wish a lot of luck to all the high school players coming out to have me yell at them for a couple hours today. No, kidding. We have a good time. So anyway, that's it, everyone. Oh yeah, and by the way, also too, is Felix Auger-Aliassime today plays Nori, and that will be a really good match as well. So I like the young kid Felix Auger-Aliassime a lot. So check out that match as well today. So that's it, everyone. Click a like below, subscribe below. And I would say right now that the lovely Carla always says adios, but she's not here. So I did my best, and hey, hopefully she'll be back to fill in and to do what she normally does next time. So we'll see you soon. From everyone here, take care, and also a big shout out to YTEX Strings. I've been doing another play test with the YTEX Strings Triangle Twisted, and it's begun to really settle in for me, and I really like this string a lot. So you can check out some of our other reviews on YTEX's Hexagon X, and as well YTEX's Quadro Twist. I'll throw a couple links above for those, and you can check those play tests out as well. But thank you for the current play test YTEX with the Triangle Twisted. It's actually doing really well for us. More on that later when we do our next play test video. Until next time, take care. Carla would always say adios, but I'll say, let's go! See ya!